Think about it like this, Tom. We're getting into it. We've got some of the best players in the world. We've got a map that just allows them to run head-to-head at each other and absolutely windmill. And that's what I'm excited to see. Some windmilling off the back as we are ready to kick this one off. Na'Vi versus TYLOO. It's a best of one on Dust2 here at Pro League.
Yeah, and the best of ones, I think, is where TYLOO, throughout their history, have been at their utmost scariest. Like, I don't think anybody really wanted to face them here. Electronic, though, that is a nice start. I always like to see when teams are happy to get aggressive in these early round scenarios. Simple's going to be doing the same, but does get flashed off the angle. An attacker looking to try and pressure him onto short at least, but in these early rounds it's a little bit more difficult because normally that's where you'd see like a deep Molotov to make sure that he either has to face you or just fall back, but in these sort of scenarios it just had to be a flashbang. It just had to be a small amount of utility to try and gain that control.
Well, that's the one smoke that TYLOO had available to them casted out as well. That's going to smoke down towards CT. Molotov on the site. Boomich, a slight miss with the USP. Guardian's had his lips removed, Tom, as they start to barrage their way through. Summer being quite aggressive as he was looking for a pick. Doesn't work out too well for him, but luckily, TYLOO have secured control of the B-bomb site. They can try and get it planted, but they're losing their numbers. They've fallen into a 2 versus 3, and they're going to have to try and play for the site.
Yeah, the one worry, though, with this Na'Vi roster at the moment is Electronic incredibly low. I was about to say they don't have a kit, but Simple has managed to retrieve that. But they also don't have any utility, so it just has to be straight-up duels. Luckily, they hit both headshots within a split second. This is going to be the defusal coming in. The question now, Jackie, is do we see a force buy? Because it's become almost common for teams to juggle over an SG, which they can actually do that with 2 different players. You could even, on attacker, just straight up buy an AK with no head armor.
Well, the thing is with me now, especially like post-patch, where we've seen it coming in with Broken Web, right? Like, I want to see the Galil prevalence start to come in a little bit more. I'm curious to see how many times we're actually going to see Famises now bought, especially over the course of the tournament for me. But they have gone in for the investment, Tom.
Yeah, they went straight for that SG. They've still kept a bit of money, or maybe they're just buying really slow. I think they're just buying really slow. Yeah, okay.
Well, there's Galil coming through for somebody as well.
Yeah, that is the thing. It is.
It's cheap now.
It's kind of ludicrously cheap. Like, one of the things, again, that I noticed Winter was the fact that if the T's get the bomb down, they normally get more rifles than the CT side.
Oh, yeah.
Considering if the CTs win the round, that's stupid. But it definitely makes things a bit more interesting. Although I don't really think that it made that much of a difference because all it's done is just changed which rifle people are forcing up. Even still, Freeman's still going to go for the SG, and I'm not surprised. The gun has changed nothing, only the price. And Guardian is going to be pressured here. It looked like a little bit of an accidental jump. The nade will do quite a bit of damage as well. But he's still being forced back and does need some support. He has Electronic who just pings ahead straight off of Freeman. But even still, the T's in this scenario, bomb plant, we know how much extra money they're going to be getting off the back of that extra pistol scenario. And now, the CTs are in quite a bad spot.
This isn't too bad at all. If somebody can carry on like this and get another frag, it could be a huge round. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out as he goes for the jump up on towards short, tries to take the fight down, will be slain by Electronic, and now they fall back into an equal scenario. Bentet, though, getting the trade across. That's Boomich out of the equation. Electronic, can he start to claw this one back? A little bit paranoid. It looks like they haven't got the time for it. There is one kit in play, but it's not worth the risk. They're going to back off. The time is done. TYLOO actually do force it and win the round.
It's not even surprising anymore, is it? It is.
Well, it's TYLOO, isn't it?
Well, not even that. I just mean teams winning the second round when they force up with that many rifles. I almost feel like, although I love the scout buy,
yeah,
I feel like if you win the round on the CT side, a scout is almost a detriment. Like, unless you're going to be playing aggressive into mid, because if you're coming up against an SG, if you're coming up against like, an AK, when you have the scout there, and you're always going to get Molotoved, I think it's just such a risk. Like, I understand that obviously some players, and Guardian is definitely one of them, can just ping a headshot and then it changes everything. But you notice there, he hits a tag, goes down, and when you're the one with the better buy, it's not quite enough.
It's also quite rough because, like, the amount of damage he actually did, especially with the HE on the follow-up,
yeah, exactly.
He was really blessed to be able to get away with that much, but he didn't get the frag, it all started to crumble. He has gone back in for the follow-up scout as well. I don't mind it too much. Guardian, Dust2 scout, you know, he can normally pop off and be a bit of a nuisance maker. A lot more aggressive from Na'Vi here as well, as they want to try and hold towards short or mid this time into the round.
Well, yeah, this is what I prefer. This is where I think that Guardian could have more impact. And as you said, they've doubled up on short because of it. He now has the chance to take some better battles with a supported player rather than, like I said, he just had to ping off. He had to go off, which, as I said, he can do, but we haven't seen it so much recently. Electronic, obviously, one of the saved rifles, and I think they're expecting an A hit here. Like, they have the right players around the right positions, but they're still going to leave a little bit of defense in the form of Flamey and even Guardian here. He's going to be sectioned off. A lot of this is going to come down to Electronic, but he does have that AUG spot somebody, but he gets wrecked straight away. Boomage is there for a response, but I don't think they're really going to have too much of a chance now. They just need to clear out Boomage, and this round is pretty much done. Simple does actually kill off Attacker, so there are possibilities here.
Yeah, the Deagles are coming out in full force tonight. Both of the frags found have been with those 50 cal hand cannons. All three players are on short, though, and Freeman, he could be looking for a 3-man right now if he peeks up at the right time with this Kalashnikov. It's all on Summer to do the damage, though. Gets one kill across, Simple's out of fashion. Boomich still rocking with a Deagle, Tom. He's doing damage as he pushes his way across. Vincere holding close towards Goose. The angle's going to favour him, and so will the Krieg.
Yeah, close for comfort, but ultimately TYLOO do exactly what they needed to. They win that second round in a row, and now the CT side don't have the money to buy, so this is the chance to really make some cash. They're going to have a couple of Mac 10s. They can go for a fast play. Actually, they have a relatively decent B spawn for the at least for the Mac 10, who could just run straight into the site. But yeah, this is one of those rounds where they just want to farm up cash, and I think with this being Dust2 being such a momentum-based map, I think they're going to be very happy that they get that early round win.
Ooh, this is going to be a scrap towards long as well. Unfortunately, everyone's so isolated. Luckily enough, only one of the frags so far we found on the Mac 10, but there's the second rapidly followed up as Summer gets the flick across into Electronic's cranium. And it all comes down to somebody to land the final bullet straight between the eyelids there onto Simple. And that's the 3 rounds achieved for TYLOO. Going to be happy with that, with the extra money made as well.
Yeah, not losing too much in terms of players, and ultimately the Mac 10 doing majority of the work. So
yeah,
3-1.
Like 1 death for 4 Mac 10 kills. It's pretty good. That's like winning the jackpot.
Need a knife. That's the true jackpot, but yeah, good luck with that. I think many of these players have learned that in the past. Never knife cold zero. That's what I've learned.
Oh, we've seen a lot of mistakes, especially from Na'Vi and Knives on Dust2. I think that's something that's always going to be quite haunting.
They have started this one fantastically well. Like, aggressive play came out of long, and they managed to get a kill into middle as well. Now, being that this is their first proper buy round, excluding the one that had like a scout and just a couple of rifles in play, it's a much better start. Although we talk about relative amount of money being made, especially off the second round win, the money's not insane for TYLOO. So if Na'Vi can win this one quite cleanly, go into the next one in a comfortable position, I don't think there's anything to really worry about just yet, other than Boomage being burned out into an open position. However, doing fairly well to actually stay alive. Summer, in the meantime, is finally going to finish him off as Simple in middle, crossfire with Flamey. Somehow the teaser actually brought this back into a 2v2. I don't really understand. Like, we didn't see a lot of the duels that they managed to win. The only problem is 22 HP between the two players.
It's a lot of 2s. They still need to find the frags if they're going to be able to salvage this one. Na'Vi opting to play 1 man per site as Guardian will hold his own over towards A, and Simple rotates into B. Just going to sit himself up, posted up like a gangster Tom, waiting by a car. TYLOO aren't rushing anything. They're going to make full use of the clock they have available to them, as they've still got 25 seconds left to play with. Smidgen of utility left as well. 1 smoke, 1 Molotov on Freeman. But with just 2 HP, Simple basically just has to sneeze near him. So it is all on the distraction play from Summer.
Yeah.
Nah.
I get the attempt, but at least for the CT side, with so little time left, they just wanted to make sure that that bomb didn't go down on B side. Like, you're way more likely to be able to retake on A. Like, I would say the B side of Dust2 is one of the most difficult sites in the whole game, if not the most difficult site in the game to retake, because it's just chokehold points. Like, you're running through a tiny door, a tiny window, or a tunnel, which goes a long way down and gives just perfect position. So I think Na'Vi made the right call, making sure that they had someone on the site. And while they are going to get that second round, and as I said, that's pretty much all the bonus cash that TYLOO built up gone. Like, They're investing heavily into this round. They've got everything they need, but it's not like in the next round they're going to be on a comfortable buy if they lose. But you could say the same for the CT side. $850 is all Flamey has. Boomage only with a MP9. It's not a pretty sight for either side at the moment.
What's worrying as well is obviously losing that Krieg they had has now been passed over to Na'Vi, so that will definitely be some big stopping power they have available if there is a push coming in towards the B bomb site. Nice little boost in play, clearing over towards short, no one to be seen. And they start to slow it down once again. A much slower round here from TYLOO as they're just going to wait for an opportunity. Fair bit of damage done with a nade though, Tom. So somebody left covered with shrapnel there all over him.
I'm interested to see if TYLOO will actually utilize the B side too much. It seems like Na'Vi at least are starting to suspect that a B hit will eventually come in. They've gone far more passive on that side and started to take some aggressive control of short to try and remove the possibility of them going in that direction. And mid-play could work out though, because only Flamey really able to defend, and well, some are trying to peek into the Krieg. A little bit more difficult. Look at this though, Electronic. He's so well placed once again. Sprays down a couple. And Freeman is there to trade eventually, but will they expect the second player? Guardian, even with a smoke down, only 30 seconds left, and they're just being forced into exactly where their opposition wanted. And Freeman's, he's alone with the bomb.
Oh, he's stuck stranded at mid, basically on an island on his own. Luckily, he gets away. He is going to get spammed out and take, like, what, 5 damage there through the door. Counter flashes on the way back through. Guardian, it relies so heavily on him now as he tries to back up close towards Elevator, looking for a head to try and scalp. A wide face from somebody as he wants to risk it for a biscuit. They do at least get the bomb down, and they still have a round on their hands, but they are vastly outnumbered here in a 2-4.
Oh, Guardian already getting that first connection and the second as well. A relatively easy cleanup from him, and I am quite pleased to see that you sort of mentioned that it was all or nothing with him.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that, it sounds weird, but I'm almost glad he opted not to do anything. Like, if he peeks out and he loses a duel, it's a 3v3, and it can go anywhere. Instead, he stays alive, he waits for the rotation, they even get a pick when somebody actually peeks into the angle, and then that's a very, very easy and clean round for Na'Vi, and I think that is definitely something you get with a player like Guardian. Although he's renowned for, like, his sort of aggressive AWPing, his crazy flicks, the one thing I've always respected about him is he has a very calm head. And I think that's something that Na'Vi definitely as a team need, because they do have a few more less calm players within their roster. But the fact, like in those sort of situations, he's not trying to be the hero, he's not trying to do anything crazy and like be the best player in the world and just like ruin them all on his own. He goes, okay, let's be patient, I'll play for the retake. And I like to see that from Na'Vi.
Well, I think that's something as well, like a trait as obviously Guardian years back, even when I first saw him back in Source at that point, it's like the evolution of a player as he has, the amount of experience he's now racked up as an older man. He doesn't need to make those sort of crazy hero plays. He'll go for the calculated high percentage win, and he can normally back it up. So a huge round from Na'Vi. It's all tied up now. But the worrying factor is for me, Tom, the more Kriegs I see on Na'Vi, the more scared I get for TYLOO.
Well, yeah, the real worry is that 4 out of the 5 CT weapons are T weapons. Yeah. And that they haven't even needed to bring in an AWP yet, which this team, well, I would say has one of, if not the best double AWP setups in the world. So that's a really worrying prospect that Na'Vi are currently feeling that they don't even need to use it.
Easy round of popping heads so far, as all the Na'Vi players are finding a large amount of success with these Kriegs. Flamey doing a little bit of damage. Should be the simple 2K to close it down, as he will walk away with around 4-3 now. Na'Vi back on top at this point.
Nice to see that the price change really nerfed that weapon.
I know, it's hardly bought at all.
Well, the thing is, for the T's at the moment, they actually don't really have that extra cash that they can invest that many into it. And we're still going to have 4 in the server, because the CTs have 3. And as said, now that we start to see the money build up, I wouldn't be surprised that if Na'Vi lose this round, or even lose a couple of players, we'll see the AWP brought up onto either Guardian or Simple. It depends what they're going to be doing. Like, if it's just a passive, like, make sure you hit the shot, you'd get Guardian. If it's, hey, we want someone who's just going to wreck him, yeah, I think we know who we're going with.
That is very true. But that's the point. Like, right now, there is no reason at all to throw away those guns. The only way we see them get taken out of play is if they do lose a round, and it's a full wipe at that point with no saves available. It's the early round though. Attacker taking a fair bit of damage as the opening point of contact. Heavy aggression towards short once again. TYLOO, they've liked their plays towards the A site, Tom. They've not been a big fan of B.
No, we haven't even seen him play towards B. There was the one round where someone with 2 HP tried to run in with 10 seconds left with the bomb.
And got spat on.
Yeah, and then there was the round where they tried to split mid when everything had already gone wrong. So it almost seems like the fail-safe that's not really a fail-safe. Like, oh, everything's gone wrong, let's go B. Oh, we died. Okay, whatever. Like, it's not been part of their plan, which, to be fair to them, that's quite common. Like, not many teams are that good at utilizing the B side. I was actually quite impressed watching Godsent play. Like, they were really methodical with a lot of their utility and very, very good at finding early trades. And that's something that they're currently struggling with on the T side. Electronic able to get away with 2 being so aggressive on short, and I think they're really struggling to counter that at the moment.
Yeah, Electronic playing around that smoke was absolutely perfect. The timing was great, the use of the flashbang literally as they pushed in. It was very nice to witness. Unfortunate for Freeman as well, just on the timing there as the wide swing comes around from Simple. He is going to fall, and somebody has to do a lot of damage here on the site, and he can't. Guardian with a wild spam, connects the headshot. Summer falls in the meantime as well, and it's now another round for Na'Vi.
Are we getting an AWP? We are. Okay.
Okay.
I don't think it's staying on Electronic. I think if you have 2 of the greatest like all-time AWPers and you just see Electronic go, "Do you know what, lads? I think I'll give it a go."
I think this is my round. I'm feeling it, boys.
But yeah, it is going to be onto Guardian. I think that will significantly change, the dynamic of this. You can see straight away, he was the passive man on the site, considering they've had so many short pushes. Now he's the aggressive. Now he's the man looking to try and take those fights, get in the faces, and I think things are only going to get worse from here. Nice shot, though, from Attacker, but again, instant trade. So much map control at the moment being challenged for by Na'Vi. Ooh, missed shot, though, but okay, never mind. Electronics just killed basically everyone, and okay, free. I completely understand it. Like, at this point, they know that you're going to be in tunnel. You might as well try and do the most surprising thing you can, which is just run through the Molotov and try and get a headshot. There's no way he was ever going to win that round.
See, that round's so rough, though, because it actually looked like TYLOO had quite a large chance. Like, it got to the point where it's like, okay, literally one player on B. If they maybe had a smoke on CT, they could have pushed.
Yeah.
But even then, like, Guardian misses the first shot, and then all of a sudden, everyone's dead. Yeah,
Electronic, who has been flying high, 10 and 5 at the moment, top in the server. These are the sort of matches you want. That's a good start, though. We finally see an aggressive play coming out from long. Something you want to see, especially if you have the right spawn, and Vincere is going to be able to get away with it. And this time we are finally going to see a split. I think they've learned from the last round. Basically, okay, how close did we just get with absolutely nothing? Let's see how close we can now get after an entry frag comes in on long. Flamey, I don't even think he had any idea. Like, he was looking in completely the wrong direction, so I'm not sure that that was either communicated or if he thought they were that far forward. But now, well, this is a save.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Like, I think Simple was hoping that maybe if he can spot someone over the smoke, he can get 1 or 2, and then they have a chance. But retaking B in a 5 versus 3, even though their money's fantastic, it's not worth it. Don't just throw away the guns.
No, absolutely not. Unfortunately for them, the Kriegs have now been taken, so at least they've been able to repo those bad boys. But yeah, Na'Vi full commit on the save. I did like how once they got out towards CT as well, we saw 2 CT smokes, and there was nearly a third. And I think it was Freeman. He just held back and put it away, and it was just like, all right, good.
Did they put the one onto the boxes? Because I don't even think they did.
No, they just threw 2 in the same place, and there was nearly the third one out, and then they went, all right, boys.
Because at the moment, the most common smokes that you throw there is obviously the one that's a little bit elevated. On the box, so then they can't see anything over the top. Like basically what Simple was trying to do, like peeking over the top of the smoke. But either way, I'm guessing we're getting some sort of tactical pause coming in, which absolutely fine, really, from TYLOO, I would guess. Like, it's possible that it is from Na'Vi, but considering they won 5 rounds in a row, and then the one round they get overwhelmed is where they lose a man with a 1v1 duel on long, and then they gamble that direction because TYLOO has gone A every round. So I don't think there's anything particular they need to change. Just go back to more of a default CT setup. Don't gamble as heavily. And then for TYLOO, you've just won, like, your first round since the, the full spy win and the follow-up. So now you're the ones where you've got to go, okay, now how do we elevate this? How do we change this? Because that round, although it was a good round for them, as said, got the pick, got the opening onto B, I don't think it's going to be something that's very easy to recreate. I think they definitely did well, like maneuvering Na'Vi over towards that A site, but they're not going to do that again. Simple will probably move further into middle, and you're going to have more resistance, at least on that side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, we still got the AWP out on Guardian as well, so in reality, the only play we actually saw from him aggressively was the one short peek where he missed the opening shot, so they don't have that much information of how Na'Vi are now playing this, because for the good half of the game we've had this far, it's just been Krieks, so they've not been playing the normal dynamic we might actually see going forward anyway, so for TYLOO, it's probably a lot of question marks of how they want to approach this.
I think one of the big things, although like nade stacks are not something you bring into your gameplay too often, I'd love to see them just chuck a few over towards short, because Electronic has been aggressive there almost every single round, and he's been successful there almost every single. Currently on 104 ADR, no one else really particularly close. We've seen, Flamey's been playing B a lot of the time, but helped him out there a couple. It's one of those things where I think if you can get rid of him early on, it opens things up a bit, and Boomage has been playing alongside him, but has actually struggled a bit. Like, once Electronic dies, you kind of go, okay, now short control is lost.
Well, it's basically just been like support for Electronic to get the frags. Like, Boomage has literally just been ready with the flash as soon as they push, and he's been getting, basically 2 frags a time on every push they've gone for. Most of the time because he's been willing to go aggressive as well after he's got the first pick, which is, it's worrying if they're that confident already.
Yeah, especially worrying for a player like him. Like, the people always will highlight Simple, but you have to remember that Electronic was also a top 5 player in the world. Like, ranked. Oh yeah. So that is the curse of being on a team with the best player in the world, is that you are sometimes forgotten to be a talent. Like, not so much nowadays, but he's definitely someone where if he gets into a rhythm, he can easily be best player in the server, maybe even best player at a tournament, which that's not what you want to be playing against.
So, it looks like that was the TYLOO timeout, and now we've gone straight into a tactical pause for Na'Vi.
I think that was a tech.
It could have been. That did seem like
it was
an odd
way
pause.
too long to be a tactical. Either that or TYLOO took a couple back-to-back, but I don't think so. So yeah, Na'Vi actually going to be taking a tactical, because obviously you can't talk during a technical pause.
No.
So that means that they've just been sat there in silence, which unless they have learned to communicate through blinking, they're going to have a little bit of a problem. But yeah, I think some of this comes down to what you're actually going to be buying. Like, you see Simple has bought, so maybe we'll see an AWP come into play. But other than that, I don't think there's anything too much they need to change, and it is. We're going to get the double AWP. And I think, as said, with this team, if you're not looking for them to buy a double AWP setup, you're probably not that much of a fan of Counter-Strike, because I think this could easily be the best double AWP setup in the world.
This is the dream, really. Like, as a spectator sport, this is them literally going out like dynamite fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully they do give us some flashy plays to try and relish it. The aggression, once again. The Na'Vi players, they've gone for the boost out on short. This time, Guardian will hit the mark, though, so that's a tackle removed pretty much instantly into this round. This is not a great start for TYLOO, and it could be the follow-up as well. Freeman should be peeking in off the back of his flash from his teammate. The Guardian will go for the smart play, just back off.
Yeah, I think that flash actually did catch Freeman as well a little bit, so that's probably why we didn't see him get too aggressive. But yeah, but it's somewhat what I said from the previous. Like, we now see a little bit of a change from the setup. Boomage going to be out towards long, and he hits the shot this time. It's not going to be that opener that TYLOO got in the last, and they've also gone heavier on their B defense. This is much more of a default round, and I would even say at the moment it seems like the aggression in towards short is actually part of their default, which is kind of mad. You don't see that on too many teams, but they're literally so good at taking that control, and now they've been able to not only waste so much time for TYLOO having to try and retake that back, they have long control, they have an AWP homed in, and they have the rotator in the form of Electronic. This is going to be a tough take.
Guardian blind for so long. The jumping trampoline-based face from Electronic. Luckily, once he calms himself down and holds his ground, he's still going to be able to hit the shots. As he peels back the scalp of Freeman, the site control is taken, but it's a 2-on-4. Summer? Excuse me?
Let's just ignore that and move on. Boomage already going to be getting an extra kill. More Summer. Hopefully he's had his shooting practice. He does manage to get the kill at least, but Simple easily trades that out.
Was that like a motivating love tap to try and, like, you know, get them pumped up to win the round? That is one that is going to frustrate Black.
Maybe it's one of those things where, like, there's certain video games you play where you get this power-up where the more damage you take, like, lower your health, the more damage you do. So maybe that's what he's going for.
He was trying to, like, give him, like, a bloodlust.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Right, okay. Yeah, that actually gave them plus 15% chance to get an instant kill.
But he did.
But unfortunately, what it also did was up their chance by 50% to lose the round.
Yeah.
And that's not great.
It was worth the risk.
So odd.
Well, I don't think it made that much difference, in all honesty. And already leg shot coming in. We are seeing such dynamic AWPing at the moment. We've now got Guardians switching places, so Simple wanted to take the long peek. That's the wonderful thing about Dust2 is spawns. So obviously having the right spawn to get that long take, hits the leg shot, and now can actually fall back. And obviously Guardian's going to be a seasoned veteran of playing middle on this map, so it's not like too much of a worry. And already, again, we are going to see that opening pick. Luckily, it's the same player twice, so he hasn't just damaged one significantly and killed the other. That would be a worst case for TYLOO, but they've struggled with everything. Literally, the one buy round they've managed to win is because Vincere ran out long and got an instant headshot. And as said, at the time, I thought it'd be difficult to recreate. The last couple of rounds, they haven't even come close to recreating it.
Yeah, they've really slowed down. They need to try and put the pedal to the metal if they want to step this one up. Right now, though, Summer, he has donned the AWP. He spent a good majority of the round just sat towards T-spawn, looking to try and reel someone in. And this could be so very awkward. The flash out for Electronic, he walks in, loses the fight, goes down instantly to Attacker, and it does get a little bit closer. Once again, a 4 versus 4. Vincere, though, he's only on 63 HP. Everyone on TYLOO is grouped up close towards short.
Oh, that's dirty. 30 seconds left and a smoke goes down. That timing is so perfect, and now we can just wait on the other side. Almost gets the collapse straight off the bat as they do look to run into this site, and it's the man you don't want to face on the other side. A second already picked off, and only 15 left for them to try and turn this around. They are getting absolutely slaughtered, and it is Simple to do the work.
God damn, he was going for no scopes in there as well. That is just beastly from the man as he starts to slaughter everyone as they come into his domain, proving a point.
He got 4. He also legged the 5th.
Yeah. And he went for the no scope as well.
It's got so much worse, hasn't it, though? Because, like, at least at the start of this game, you were going, okay, well, everybody's just playing decent. Like, Electronic was playing, I'd say, above average. If Simple goes off, you're screwed. Like, they don't stand a chance. 8-4. They've come to an Orpa's playground and they're getting wrecked by an AWP Electronic. He's had enough of people stealing his frags. He's gone running up the top of mid. 2 kills already. Tag teaming up.
Timing on it as well.
They're getting slapped.
Dude, it was so awkward. The fact, like, literally, they had the free prong set up. Everyone was sat there, one behind the barrel. They were just waiting for the push, expecting maybe some shenanigans to come out from Na'Vi. A second before he swings, they go, all right, it's fine, it'll probably be clear. And they just walk into him and get mowed down. And then Simple just runs out, just going, hey.
Do you know what this reminds me of? You know when you play the scrimmage maps?
Yeah.
And then it's like the matchmaking doesn't quite work properly. And it's like, oh, what rank are you? Oh, I'm golden over 3. Oh, what rank are you? Global. And that's what this looks like. They're just having fun with it. We're starting to see like very, very aggressive plays. Like we saw Electronic run up the top of mid, Simple covering him off. Guardian, he's being forced out of angles and just staying. Like he's got no reason to really fall back. Like they're so confident in their plays and they have not been missing shots with these AWPs. That happened earlier when it didn't matter. Now that it does, every single shot has connected since. And yeah, there's a reason that this scoreline is 9-4. Guardian even going for those like peeks into the pit. Like, come on, man! Like everybody knows those are the ones where you go, that's a bit risky. And he's still there. He's still hanging around, and they're taking damage all the way across. Like there hasn't been anything here that made me think that TYLOO are going to win this round. An extra smoke comes in as well from a teammate to help him out. This is just beautiful stuff from Na'Vi.
It's worked out so well for him. It required 2 Molotovs as well before he even took a single point of damage from those firebombs. Over and short, a bit of an awkward confrontation. And we all see Electronic dropped by Attacker, but Attacker is the only one remaining for TYLOO, and it's a CZ bullet to the brain. To send him off to Betty Boos.
This is mean. Like, do you know what was extra, like, the thing I really enjoyed about that? So obviously there's all these Molotovs flying in.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, the one that starts doing damage, Boomage just goes, oh, here you go, buddy.
Extinguished it instantly.
Just had a smoke.
Yeah.
Like, he's not, like, I'm not going to say he's the hero of this round, but something I do love about Boomage is he's so aware of what he needs to do for his teammates. He just goes, okay, like, he didn't take any damage from that one, don't need to do it. I'll hold it, I'll hold it, I'll hold it. Okay, he's dying. And you see that he tries to switch. Like Guardian's like, okay, I'll get it out.
Yeah.
Already his teammate gets it in. It's like, it's just fantastic. And again, Electronic has now found a kill within the first 20 seconds of the round. Like, how many times has that happened? Like, too many.
It's crazy that he's still getting away with it. Like, the only one time we saw it was way too bold is when there was literally 4 players. And that's actually the only one time that TYLOO even got a frag to stop it as well. Every other time he's literally had a playground to just run away with things. But no, you're right. I mean, Boomich, if he had to be a fireman, he would be rapid on the response.
He'd be like putting the water over the building before it was on fire. Like, he was like
the preemptive water.
He was literally like, I could smell the candle.
I knew someone left the toaster on.
Yeah, exactly. Can you leave a toaster on?
Yeah, maybe if you like sellotaped it down. We'll see. We'll do some experiments.
If someone's caught fire to their house by leaving a toaster on, they may be the stupidest person in the universe. They just sat there holding it going, oh, my house is on fire.
Oh, it's caught fire. Would you look at that?
Oh, and they're getting naded down. Like, everything's just been working for Na'Vi. That timing was perfect. 30 seconds up and coming on the clock. Ooh. Same players again, but now Electronic in a different spot. This is the best opportunity they've had. I've said they weren't missing shots. This is the first round where anything has gone wrong. Flamey now with a chance to pad his stats a little bit. 6 and 6, make that 8 and 6, and it's left all onto Attacker. The bomb is down. There's only 14 seconds left. I almost wonder if Flamey could just run. Of course he's not going to. Just plays the angle through the door, and that was utter domination.
Welcome back, everybody, as we carry on with this fairly exciting Na'Vi-based slaughter that is going down on Dust2. They have been popping off. Big man himself, Sasha, is awoke at this point, Tom.
Yeah, I don't like seeing him having the mini raid boss because I feel like he's just gonna get kills. Like it's really not been much of a fight. Like you have to remember, 3 of the 4 rounds that have come up from TYLOO are based off winning the second round and then just following up the next. So with the extra weapons they managed to steal, from then on it was just destruction. Like they managed a single round, whereas we sort of mentioned, I feel like Na'Vi gambled in the wrong direction. Attacker, this is a big gamble, but he misses the shots and now just has to scurry away. A good opportunity for TYLOO there, and now, well, as they've lost the map control, you can see Na'Vi are going to try and capitalize on this. They're going to go running into the site. Boomage trying to lead by example, but Vincere is actually going to get a kill elsewhere. They seem to be battling on a lot of fronts, and they have actually come out on top here. Flamey's even found another one. Leaves Attacker and Summer. This is such a weird round. They're battling almost for both sides. Attacker's still here. He hits the second headshot as well. Simple is going to be there to trade him out. And as said, I don't like seeing this man with a P250. It just seems like it's unfair. Summer, well, he's got a CZ, but with the limits of no armor. Bomb's not actually planted, so Simple is actually going to have to cross back over to the site, but I don't think Summer expect him to have walked that far down. He's just got to peek wide, and this will now be that little bit of information that should be enough for Summer. He should get aggressive here, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Simple is only going to have a second or two to peek back out. The dick hit up for both players. Take your damage, miss shots. This is so awkward. Summer finally will close the round out. But dear Lord, was that messy.
Oh, Tom, my poor little heart during that. He picks up the USP. He had to reload the USP. Summer's just there swinging around a CZ in his face. What on earth?
And they have a Just Dance battle.
Smooth moves. Wow. Attacker, definitely the MVP of that round, though, for saving TYLOO. The 3 frags he found were pretty lethal, made up for the opener. I'd never thought I'd be seeing the day that the CZ won a reloading battle. It's kind of mad, isn't it? It just doesn't make sense. It was like watching a slow-mo video.
Yeah. Either way, no surprise. None whatsoever. Na'Vi abort. Right, we saw this round be perfectly successful in the previous. You can see how many rifles TYLOO have gone for that exact reason. We can't afford to go for those extra pieces of utility and electronic. We kicked off the first half well. He's kicked off again here. An important opener onto Vincere. He's had a nightmare, really. 6 kills to his name. We saw him play fantastically well over in the Asia Championships, and he's not turned up yet. And to be fair, the way that Na'Vi have been playing, I can kind of understand.
That's what's awkward, though, is it doesn't matter what side of short he's on right now, CT or T, he's still finding the entry frags, which is really quite awkward and a massive detriment to TYLOO CT side. And now we've fallen to 50 seconds left on the clock. They've got 3 players left. Summer's barely alive at this point with 30 HP to his name. 2 of them stuck over towards B. An attacker on an island. Whoa, nearly turned the corner and had his head smashed in.
Even with that pick, it's the trade straight back from Boomage. Obviously took the sacrifice in the previous round, and, well, the remaining 2 are on B. So this round's over. They're not going to challenge for this. 2 Famises, or a couple of Fami. And they're going to just sit it out. And it is the unfortunate truth of Counter-Strike at the moment. Even with the change, it's such a small change, $250. If you get that bomb down, you see one of your players get a couple of kills, that's enough to be able to hand an SG over, and that's exactly what Boomage did. And that's the one thing that's so fantastic about this Na'Vi side, is that they were doing those sort of buys. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to make myself cringe. They were doing those buys when it wasn't cool. Like the sort of the simple buy.
Are you saying Na'Vi are the hipsters of the scene?
Sometimes, yeah. To be fair, it wasn't always clever, but they would hand a rifle over to their best player, and he'd be able to win them around. Now, you don't even have to do that to this extent. If you want an SG, sure, Boomage takes the sacrifice, but that's what he does so well as the in-game leader. He is there to facilitate his stars, and he has quite a few of them within this roster. He gives Electronic the SG, he gets 2 entry kills right at the beginning of the round.
Oh, yeah.
Done. That's it. That's it. Over. And then again, look, 114 ADR, 108 ADR. There's nobody really underperforming. Like, even just looking at kills, the top performer is only just above the bottom performers on Na'Vi. ADR, their top performer, is only above Boomage. And as we've said, his job is literally to facilitate the rest of the team. So if that's the case, I don't think you stand a chance versus Na'Vi, because that's what they do have versus everyone else. And you even look at, like, I know Anders has said it, like, if you talk about a team that you expect to rise in 2020 and be one of the best teams in the world, it's this one.
Yeah, I mean, they've finally got a roster that has everything they need, right? Be it composure, be it just the level of absolute lethality they have with basically the assassins that are on this squad. There's so much that can be done. And again,
I don't even know what's
aggressive plays. This is the second time they've just pushed out on short. That time, I don't know what the end goal was. That was just a wide swing.
That was one of the players with a gun as well. Like,
it's a bit bizarre, but they're still committed.
Okay.
How does that work for somebody? 2 frags found with a famous, making himself famous with that play.
Okay. I don't really know how it worked. I guess if you're a Na'Vi player, you're sat there going, well, they're not going to do that again. And hey, they did. Fair enough, it worked. And actually, Freeman's going to win that duel as well. Oh, it looks like this is looking like a TYLOO round, and I'm surprised. Flaming Electronic, all that's left to try and bring this back. It's a similar scenario to what we saw when TYLOO won their second round, though, in the previous half. It's a scout watching the cross. And basically, if Vincere misses a shot here, either he has to run or he's dead. Like, he shouldn't be given a second chance. And they're going to go peeking in, and even slow peeking, Flamey hits the headshot. And now they have a chance. He does actually get tagged up. I was going to be surprised if that wasn't the case. And luckily, Attacker's so fast on his rotation onto short that this should still be around. Flamey in with a chance, but he's going to need a kill. Now, Attacker, he's going to wait. I'm glad. It looked like he was going to try and fight that on his own. Instead, it will now be the 2-man take back from TYLOO, and I don't see their way to losing this. It came a little bit close in the end, but a good fight back. They've given themselves a lifeline in in a match which was looking pretty much over, and they're even going to wait to try and retrieve a little bit of extra weapon there. It was an SG down, and of course, you want that to be on your side.
Oh yeah, if there's an opportunity to scavenge a Krieg, go for it by all means. But yeah, Attacker literally single-handedly saved the round. And it was the fact as well, that was the long rotation the whole way round, down through mid, up behind short. They're quite lucky with the timing, because if both of them had got across towards site, it could have been so much more awkward. He was able to at least catch off Electronic, who was waiting for that push, didn't expect him to be so close.
I think somebody as well getting away with 2 kills there is ludicrous. Like, I think the first player can be forgiven, and then Boomage obviously had a nade in his hand. So, again, these are rounds where I think it's so tough to recreate them. So, it's going to take a lot for me, at least. I'm sure the people watching at home as well, to truly believe that TYLOO are going to get back into the game when a round is won by, I'm not going to say fluke, but a lot of luck going your way.
Well, yeah, but think about the play that won it, right? Like, that kind of is just a fluke. It's not going to happen again. It's one of those where it's not repeatable or consistent rounds, and if it's not sustainable, you're not going to be able to do it again. You're not going to win them and start linking them together. At least now they do have the slight chance, though. They've actually got firepower. They've got some utility. It's not the best in the world. I mean, they've got 2 smokes left at 1:15 on the clock, and they've got 2 kids. Ooh. But, you know, Na'Vi have Guardian, and Guardian's just going to start doing what he does best, and that is just destroying people with AWPs.
Yeah, it's interesting. We haven't seen, I would say we haven't seen anywhere near the best of him within this team. I don't think he's there to be a star, necessarily. But when he's doing stuff like that, like, you can't really complain. Like, that's a tough opening pick to take. And, hey, they've got the man advantage now. All they have to do is trade effectively.
I wonder as well how much of that is the fact that Guardian played in such a structured Na'Vi lineup for so many years and then went into a whole new environment where I don't know if it was rejuvenating or if it kind of threw him off the beat a little bit with obviously the time and phase, and now he's back.
Depended what bit you're talking about. Like, probably at the beginning it was great.
And then there was just that downhill spiral. Vincere, though, going to be looking to try and win this uphill battle, Tom, as they start to swarm in. Oh, Guardian! He is just doing some cheeky things with this AWP right now, as Vincere has been slain and the site has been taken. This is now Na'Vi territory.
Yeah, they got save again. And the tease, I don't... Like, this is the interesting thing. Like, obviously, you've got only a Deagle on Simple, so he can go hunting. But their money's not great, but I don't think they really care. Like, they've been so dominant in so many of these rounds, and again, that was just purely off the back of like some sick shots coming out from Guardian, like both entry picks from Yorpa on the T side. And it's not even like the common Dust2 ult picks, like, oh, you're sat back, you're waiting. Those were pure entry fragger kills, like just running up and just taking a headshot. And they're even now just ending the lives of some of these remaining players. The only one who's going to survive is Summer. That's a very good round from Na'Vi. And like, as said, like you look at the performances on the other side, Buntet, he's the man that we expect, at least individually, to be able to fight back. We haven't really seen it. Attacker's the only one to hit double digits. Like everybody else seems to be really struggling, and yeah, now they come in with what is the diciest of buys at 13-6.
It's also a bit awkward that out of this entire game, now 20 rounds in, we've seen one pause from them. Like, obviously,
did we even see a pause from them?
No, so that initial pause that was taken was the technical, and then they took one pause, like into the second half. But it's scary because it's one of those, right? You know where like you feel like you're winning around here and there, and you're like, oh, we should be winning these, so you never go for the pause. But at that point, the game's already got way too far in Na'Vi's hands. Na'Vi are now so confident that it doesn't really matter. You're not going to be able to ice them out. You're not going to be able to slow down any of these plays. And this could be a bit of a slaughter as well. They're going to be walking out close towards mid. Somebody with that MP9 in close range, it definitely can be a detriment to your health. Let's see if he can set up anyone on a date with the car at the top.
Yeah, they've got now 3 players in that mid position. This is the best chance there is for TYLOO. Lots of missed shots coming in, and it still comes out with this battle being the decider. Like, if Attacker can win it, then they have a chance, but it's not going to be happening. I'm flying versus an SG. But yeah, very messy round, and definite opportunities for TYLOO, but ultimately, I basically, if that same round happens and they have rifles, they win it 10 times out of 10. I think that there's such a small chance of Na'Vi winning it, but like a few pistols here and there, an instant SG headshot to a couple of players, and now this is what we get from TYLOO. Just 4 spies until the end of the match. I think they'd need an utter miracle to win this back from here.
Yeah, there's not much you can do. And at this point as well, it's not even worth trying to slow down the game and talk about things and hash it out. There's nothing you can change because you can't afford to, not only in terms of rounds, but in terms of actual cash as well. You don't have any availability of buying your way back into the game right now.
Well, and also you got to remember that I would almost say that even this scoreline is kind. Because they won the 4 spy, that gave them 3 rounds. Then they won the pistol. So all that basically means is that 4 of their 6 rounds are when Na'Vi didn't have weaponry, or they didn't. Okay, I'll give them the second round, but that's kind of like a question. Guardian again. He may not be the one leading the server in stats, but he has had some huge impact plays. Like even in some retake scenarios we saw early in the map as well, he was really good. And now he's been getting consistent entry frags with that AWP, which it's invaluable. Like you can't complain at all.
No, you can't stop him as well. If he's coming up short, wielding the AWP like a shotgun and just being able to blow you away every single round, you might as well just put your hands up as he enters the site. And here's the attack on the A site. Everyone charging through. Cheeky 5-7 frag will be found as Flamey is left splayed out on the ground, but it's all up to Freeman and his trusty 5-7. I don't think this little pea shooter is going to do too much. He did get the headshot across into Simple, but that's the 15th round secured. Na'Vi with match point now. They need one more against TYLOO Tom to walk away as the victors in our opening best of 1 of the day.
I'm actually tempted to go look on HLTV when Buntet last got a kill.
Because he's still on 6.
He is still on 6, and I can't remember if he was on 6 in the first half. Because it does seem like such a long time ago since we've seen any impact from him. And I don't like railing on one player, but he's supposed to be the best player in this team, pretty much. Like, that's what I expect from him, at least when seeing them play. Now the double AWP T side.
Yeah.
This has gone full like YOLO pick play mode from Na'Vi, and to be honest, with the way things have been going, I really can't blame them.
I do agree with you, because it makes it so much worse when he's basically like the exclamation mark of a team that you look towards to really be like huge in impact.
Okay, he got a kill in the pistol round.
Okay.
So
quite some time.
Yeah, it's been when it was 11-5 was the last time he got, or 11-4, sorry, was when the last time he got a kill. Yeah, this is just more of the same. They're just getting absolutely styled, and at the moment, 23 kills, 101. Well, that's going to go up. ADR. Yeah, this is just as easy as you like. Are we expecting an ace in the final round? No, Guardian stole it. We switched to opus, don't worry. But yeah, utter domination. Like, you get either a pistol or a second round win coming up from TYLOO. They had opportunities to get off to a good start, and they just got absolutely destroyed. I wonder if maybe a different map would have given them some more openings, but you played a pug-style map against what I would consider one of the highest firepower rosters in the whole world, and you got destroyed. Can't really say it's a surprise.